Many of us work ourselves to the bone. Early mornings, late nights, never stopping to breathe. And still it feels like it's not enough. We tell ourselves that one day, when the work is done, then we'll rest. Then we'll enjoy life. But what if that one day never comes? What if the life we're chasing is already slipping through our fingers simply because we are too blind, too ignorant to see what we already have? Welcome to Story Behind Words, a space where we pause, reflect, and find meaning beneath the noise. If you value calm wisdom, consider subscribing now so you won't miss reflections that may help you carry life more lightly. Let me share a simple story with you that may change how you view your life from today and live more fulfilling. In a quiet coast, a fisherman returned from the sea with just a handful of fish. Enough for his family, enough to share with friends. He finished his work early, not because he was lazy, but because he wanted the rest of the day for what mattered more. He would walk home to laugh and talk with his wife. He would play with his children while the sun was still high. And in the afternoon, he would rest, taking a siesta in the shade, before the evening brought music and conversation with friends. A businessman visiting from the city could not believe it. "Why don't you fish longer? With more hours, you could buy a bigger boat, hire workers, build a company, and one day, retire rich." The fisherman tilted his head. "And after that?" The businessman's face lit up. "Then you could rest, sleep late, fish a little, spend time with your family, take siestas with your wife, laugh with your friends in the evening." The fisherman said nothing, because the future the businessman promised after decades of toil was already the present he was living. And though this story feels simple, its truth hasn't faded. We see the same pattern in our world today. Sometimes I walk through quiet, elite neighborhoods. The houses stand tall, their windows wide, their gates polished like mirrors of success, mansions filled with furniture, but often empty of life. They look beautiful, but cold. Rarely any soul occupies them for long because the owners spend most of their hours in smaller workstations, far away, paying for a lifestyle they barely touch. It is a strange trade. People build houses so large they have no time to live in them. They sacrifice youth, health, and presence for walls and ceilings that echo with silence. And when they finally step inside to stay, their hair has thinned, their bodies ache, their health has declined. Only then do they realize what money cannot buy: time, youth, or happiness. Because wealth can purchase many things, but it can never purchase another age, another laugh, another day of strength. This story, and this reality we see around us, carries 5 powerful lessons. Lessons that can reshape how we see wealth and how we choose to live today. The first lesson: don't postpone joy. The irony is sharp. The businessman's dream was the fisherman's everyday life. He promised decades of hard labor, only to arrive at what the fisherman was already living. We do this too. How often do we tell ourselves, "Once I finish this project, I'll spend time with my kids," or "Once I save enough, I'll finally travel"? But life keeps moving. The calendar flips. The body grows weary. And suddenly, the one day we waited for has slipped away. Imagine a garden. If you keep saying, "I'll water it tomorrow," the flowers won't wait. They'll wither while you plan. Joy is the same. It needs today's attention, not tomorrow's promise. So don't save your laughter for old age. Don't store your rest for retirement. The afternoons with your children, the walks with your partner, the conversations with friends, they are richest when your energy is still alive. The second lesson: true wealth is peace of mind. The world tells us wealth is measured by numbers, but deep down, we know peace is the real measure. A quiet evening without worry can be richer than a noisy banquet filled with anxiety. Think of someone who always fears losing what they own. Their house may be grand, their bank account large, but their mind is a prison. Compare this to someone who sleeps soundly with little. Their peace is their fortune. A candle in a dark room is wealth to the one who appreciates its light. A diamond in a restless hand is still emptiness. The fisherman had little, yet his mind was free. The businessman had plans for much, but his heart was restless. That is the difference between wealth and true wealth. The third lesson, our eyes are never satisfied. Ancient wisdom observed that our eyes are never filled. You buy a new phone, and soon it feels old. You get a raise, and suddenly it doesn't feel enough. You see your neighbor's car, and yours feels smaller. It's like drinking salt water to quench thirst. The more you drink, the thirstier you become. We chase not because we truly need, but because our eyes are restless. They crave the next thing to look at, the next thing to hold, the next thing to boast about. But the soul is different. The soul is not fed by new or more. The soul is fed by meaning, peace, and connection. A larger house cannot silence loneliness. A bigger salary cannot buy back time with your children. The eyes are hungry, but the spirit longs for something else. The fourth lesson, make time for what matters. The fisherman's wisdom was not in refusing to work harder, it was in knowing what mattered more. He chose time with his wife, laughter with his children, rest in the afternoon, and conversation with friends. Ask yourself, what would your loved ones prefer? A bigger house with an absent parent, or a smaller home filled with laughter? Would your child rather inherit your wealth or your presence? Think of life as a table. Every day you place something on it. Work, family, money, rest, friendship. But the table has only so much space. If you pile it with endless work, there's no room left for love or peace. The fisherman knew which plates to set down first. Making time doesn't mean doing nothing. It means doing what nourishes the soul. A simple meal together, a phone call with a loved one, or even with a like-minded person who understands you. A moment of silence in the evening. These are not wasted time. They are life itself. And finally, the fifth lesson, stop running in circles. The businessman's plan led in a circle, back to the very life the fisherman was already living. And isn't that the same circle many of us walk? We strive for more, sacrifice today, only to end where we began, craving rest, peace, and love. It's like a hamster wheel. The faster you run, the more you stay in the same place. Or like walking on a treadmill, endless effort, sweat, and strain. Yet when you look up, you haven't moved an inch closer to meaning. Some live as though they are at sea, rowing harder and harder, yet finding themselves drifting in the same waters, exhausted but never arriving. Pause and look at your own circle. Do you keep saying, once I finish school, once I get promoted, once I buy the house, once I retire? Each once I brings you back to the same longing, connection, peace, meaning. Sometimes the bravest step is to stop, to step off the wheel, to say, enough. I already have what I thought I was chasing. The fisherman knew this. He didn't need decades of striving to discover what mattered, and neither do we. So the question is not, do I have enough, but can I see what I already have? A small meal eaten slowly can be richer than a banquet devoured in distraction. A moment of laughter with family can outweigh a decade of silent success. A walk in the evening breeze can bring more peace than 1,000 likes on a screen. Contentment is not given by fortune, it is chosen by the mind. And it is practiced daily in the way we choose to see. So pause for a moment. What are you chasing today that might already be in your hands? What dream of one day could you live in some small way right now? Don't wait until your body aches and your years slip away. Don't let your youth, your strength, your laughter be wasted on tomorrow. The fisherman knew it. The businessman forgot it. And timeless wisdom still whispers, enjoy the gifts of today, for they are treasures greater than more. This is Story Behind Words. If this reflection touched you, subscribe, not just to support me, but as a reminder to yourself, a reminder that there is always a place to return to when the world grows too loud.